What if I told you guys that you could easily start making upwards of $100 per hour with very little experience and only an internet connection? This sounds like the dream, and today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favourite and one of the best side hustles that I think anybody could start right now to grow into a scalable business. If you enjoy videos like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I make content like this all the time. But first, let me provide you guys with a wider context. Now, I'm not too sure what you guys like to see more. I don't know if you guys like to see my results from these businesses or how these businesses work, as every single time I make a video showing my results, people ask to see how the business works in great detail. So this time I've decided to do it the other way around. In this video I'll talk about the business model, and next time I'll talk about some of my results. I'll do that in about a month or so, starting with a new account, explaining how everything works and seeing how I get on. But let's talk about the business model that I'm talking about here. Now, a lot of people want to make money on the internet, online. It's a dream, it's easy, it's very possible for most people to do. But the problem is, a lot of these ideas take a lot of time or a lot of information. And I agree with that. I think there are tiers to online business. I think there's the ones where you don't require much time, the ones where you do require a lot of time because you don't have much skills or much more capital to leverage, and the ones which require both. Now, because we don't have many skills, we must leverage our time a little bit more. So that's what we're going to be doing to start this business off. Now, what are we talking about here? What is this golden business that we're talking about? Well, it's actually nothing that's really too special. It's something that people have had the ability to do for absolutely years. We are going to leverage sites like Fiverr and Upwork to sell our services online. Now, I know what you're thinking here. You said it requires no skill, and I don't have any skill, so how am I going to sell things on Fiverr or Upwork? Now, don't worry, because things here get very easy. Now, when it comes to Fiverr and Upwork gigs, there's a lot out there. There's a lot that we can do when it comes to writing and that kind of stuff, but all of that now has been replaced by ChatGPT and other softwares. So what do? I say the best thing that we can do is leverage our eyes and our minds. We should stop making logos, designs, shirt designs, mug designs, all sorts of designs. We can leverage this skill, and it's not a very hard skill to actually get into. Sites like Canva and others make it very easy to start designing logos with little to no experience. There are even a lot of templates that you can use to get you started. From there, you can start building up a catalogue of design ideas and then label these on Fiverr on your gig to show your previous work. You'd be surprised how much interest you actually start to get from your gigs, and how many people seem to want to be interested in corresponding with you and potentially start making sales. And here's a brilliant thing, a lot of the services that we're talking about here have zero upfront cost. It costs nothing to sign up to Fiverr, and on top of that, to get Canva free version, it is free. You don't have to pay a penny. So you've not lost anything in time if you wanted to start this business model. But here's the great thing, whilst you've not lost any time or money really, what you have to gain is unbelievable, as you can list every single gig up for about $25 or pounds. Now, that is not bad, and bear in mind, here in the UK the average hourly rate is like what, £10-15? That's not a lot, when we can go to Fiverr and list our services for about $25, so the equivalent might be about £20, and that's only one listing. Now, in the early days, this is not going to replace an income, let's be honest. The first couple of days, weeks and months might be quite slow. You might only get a couple of sales, and I would actually recommend probably pricing down your services so you can beat out a lot of your competitors and start to get those both reviews and experience. But once you start to amass those things, you can put the price back up, $20, $25, $30, $40, $50. Now imagine when you start to crunch the numbers on this one. Let's say you were doing just $20 per order. So at $20 per order, 5 orders a day, and you're getting $100, and that's not going to take an hour's worth of work realistically once you understand how these things work. So if you were able to only just get 5 orders a day that you could complete in 1 hour, you could be making upwards of £100 an hour. That's crazy if you think about it. And again, when you start to scale this, get more and more orders, like a lot of the more established Fiverr sellers, when you start to have a look at their listings, it's like 50 orders in queue, 80 orders in queue, 100 orders in queue. That means that 100 people are waiting on this person to fulfill their order, to complete their product. Now, I would definitely say this is a great business model. It is a bit more time intensive than something like drop shipping, I would argue, but we're talking about something where you don't really need much skills, and especially when we talk about building our base, our core businesses, to build our initial capital to move on to easier businesses, I think this is a great opportunity. Now, I'm not going to mention a particular site because you need to read up on the rules and it's not something that I do myself, but you could even potentially drop service on some of these sites where you don't need any skills at all. That means that you list a logo design, for instance, on Fiverr for $25, then you go into a different site and order it for $5 or $10, getting to keep the profit. And that is how you could potentially scale this business even more, to have an actual empire running on graphic design, on potentially script writing or something like that, but that might be a bit more difficult because of AI. But other different niches that you can do on Fiverr, on Upwork, and other freelance sites. It's very easy, the site's already established, and you can start getting views on your listings within hours. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to make sales in the first day, the first week, but that's what we talk about so much here on this channel. We're not trying to make businesses that are not sustainable, that might make £100 in the first day and never make a penny again. It's truly my belief that any decent business is worth building upon, and I think this is a potential opportunity where we can do that. It's not that hard to actually get started, because again, we can learn a lot of this stuff in about an hour on Canva or other sites similar, and then we can sell this as t-shirt designs, logo designs, social media designs, or even thumbnails for YouTube videos, or even short form content if we want to make YouTube shorts, which I'm going to talk more about in a different video. But this is a thing, right? So for one item, I'm not saying this is going to be an immediate income replacer, but think about it as something to add into the basket, as well as implementing some of the other business ideas that I personally do myself and that I talk about on this channel. You can start to build multiple streams of income, and that is just such a powerful tool. But if you were to even get 8 orders per day on Fiverr, Upwork, any of these sites, just imagine 8 orders a day at $25 per time, you're going to be making as much as some more professional jobs, especially here in the UK. It's like, this is just a great opportunity for people looking to build a more long-term business, increase their skill set, increase their income, and increase their knowledge along the way. I would love for you guys to subscribe so that we can talk about the results that I faced after selling on Fiverr for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, on selling on Upwork, whether I actually got sales or not, whether I actually got a lot of sales on a new account, all these sorts of things I want to talk about. But I think a lot of the freelance sites are an opportunity that people are sleeping on, because people talk to me all the time about, how do I start a business then if it's so easy? I'm like, well, we can talk about drop shipping that we spoke about countless times on the channel. I think that's super easy, but we're talking about stuff like this now, where it's like, that's not hard. Like, most people have the ability to design a logo on Canva. Most people have the ability to do simple maths. Most people have the ability to write, especially if you're speaking English or even a different language. You could be a translator on Fiverr. Maybe you could make videos like this one for other people where you charge $25, $100, $200 even per time for writing or creating a full video for somebody for promotional purposes. I gave the example of the logo design because it's something that I'm experimenting with myself, and it does appear to be going quite interestingly. Again, I'll talk about those results in a video coming out soon, so no spoilers for that one. But what I will say is, this is an opportunity that so many people are sleeping on, because you don't need bags of performance and bags of experience for a lot of beginner Fiverr businesses, and people like to make the world of starting a business or getting an extra income much harder to understand than it is. Like, it's not. For an hour's work on Fiverr, like I said, you could probably, in theory, get maybe 4 or 5 logos done. That's not that bad. And again, you might need to revise them, you might need to get them approved by the seller or the buyer rather, and even though that's the case, we're talking about something here which is a potential great other source of income. And like I said just a second ago, when you start to get hundreds of orders rolling in, if you want to scale to that point, some people don't, some people just want to start making some extra capital. I only talked about the $100 per hour potential because that is what you could possibly get if you worked flat out very hard at this, and that's the same with any business. But even if you didn't want to scale to that point, or if you did, think about what you could do. You could outsource the work to somebody to design the logos for you, to do the script writing for you, to make the videos for you, and then you've got an automated business there, which is an extra stream of income where you don't have to spend any time and you can move on to the next business idea. You know, we talk about all different streams of income here on this channel because people like to make the idea of getting an online business much harder than it is. It's not that hard. It can be as simple as listing something up on eBay and trying to sell it, or listing it up on Amazon. It can be as simple as creating a listing on Fiverr, Upwork. It can be as simple as making a YouTube video like this. Making money is not that hard. We just have to think about it in different ways. And especially for the younger people, you know, who are maybe my age or younger, don't have a job, have a lot of free time, why is starting a Fiverr business on graphic design or Upwork business not a good idea? I mean, again, if you were to work flat out, like I said a bit ago, you could definitely make in excess of $50 an hour, or $100 an hour, $200 an hour, depending on what your pricing was. I just gave the example at the beginning of, you know, $20 to $25 per order, and then timesing that by 4 or 5 per hour, depending on how fast you begin to work through it. I think this idea of working online is the way that people are moving towards at the minute, because jobs are not paying people what they should. I mean, this is a thing. Productivity for workers can be very high nowadays, but if you're not being compensated for it, why not try doing something different? And if you still want to work, if you still want to have that regimented routine, starting your own business like this could be a very great first step into the world of entrepreneurship. So I hope this video was useful to you. Again, another one's coming out maybe in a few days, weeks, depending on how long it takes me to edit and get the results for this video. But another video is coming out soon where we talk about the results I've had, whether it's been a positive experience for a new seller on Fiverr, on Upwork, whether it's been a negative experience. I'm going to share everything with you and what I think about the business long term. But I want to share the concept for this idea first, because like I say, whenever I make the video talking about the results, people always ask, how did you do it? How did you do it? So let's talk about the idea first. This is an idea that anybody can start, and you know what? Whether I do extremely well with this business idea or whether I fail with it doesn't matter. A lot of it comes down to effort. And whilst it may or may not be, and again, we'll talk about this more in the future, but whilst it may or may not be a perfect business for me to start, it could be the idea that gets you off the ground. It could work a lot better for you than it does for me, and you could see amazing results. So I don't make this video to tell you start this business right now. It's up to you. I'm not that bothered. What I make this video for is, just like a lot of the others where I talk about stuff of this style, is to explain it can work, it can happen, and it's not that hard. I hope this video is just a push that somebody needs to get on it, because it's not hard and it is quite easy. Of course, anybody can do this sort of stuff. Again, if you have connection to the internet and a laptop or a computer like I do behind me, you can start making money online, whether it's with this method or some others that we might speak about in the future. I just wanted to share yet another idea with you guys, as I'm always both experimenting with new ideas myself and also trying to learn even more stuff. You guys might think because I have a successful eBay shop or because I have YouTube channels that I focus on other stuff. No, I'm always trying to learn about new stuff. I can never have enough streams of income. I can never experiment enough. And if I can make YouTube videos that highlight that and highlight how the average person like me, like you, can have success, then I'm doing an even better job. So thank you so much for watching this one till the end. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, of course, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. I hope to see you in our next one. Goodbye for now though. See you soon.